Hey, my friends, what is up? Derek here from Bomb Socks with more Bomb Bites, where we feast upon the words of Christ one bite at a time. So today I want to get into a character that I wish I knew more about. He's found just in these last verses of John chapter 1, and his name is Nathanael. Now, if you go to the Guide to the Scriptures, all it says here about him, it says, see also Bartholomew, so he was also known as Bartholomew most likely, an apostle of the Lord Jesus Christ, and a friend to Philip in the New Testament. We're going to bring that up here. He came to Cana in Galilee. Christ said that Nathanael was an Israelite without guile. We'll talk about that as well. He and Bartholomew are generally thought of to be the same person. That is all we know about him. I wish we had more backstory on this guy. I do appreciate, however, the series The Chosen. Now, I know there's varying opinions about The Chosen. I get that, but I love it. I love how it gives me some backstory to some characters, and it helps some of these individuals in the scriptures come alive to where we might just see a name, and what it does, it actually gives these guys a face, it gives them a personality, and again, whether or not that is historically accurate, I still appreciate the creative license with it. Now, with regards to Nathanael, one of the things in The Chosen, you have to go back to about season 2, and I think it's about episode 1 or 2, where it shows Nathanael as an architect and he builds things. And it shows him having some rough experiences with that, and he ends up outside of a fig tree. He's just sitting under this fig tree, and he's wondering if God knows who he is. And he's saying, look, everything I'm doing, I'm trying to do for you. And he's just having this crisis of faith where he's like, help me just know that you know who I am. Now, with that backdrop, again, that's a creative backdrop. Go to John chapter 1, where we ended with verse 43 yesterday with this idea of come and see. The day following, Jesus would go forth into Galilee and findeth Philip. So he finds Philip and says unto him, follow me. Now, Philip was of Bethsaida, which is the city of Andrew and Peter, so these guys all knew each other. Philip findeth Nathanael, which is so cool. So he goes to his buddy Nathanael and saith unto him, we have found him of whom Moses in the law and the prophets did write, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph. And Nathanael's like, wait a minute, Joseph? Can there anything good come out of Nazareth? Nazareth was a small little town, not much going on. He's like, really? He's coming from Nazareth? Philip said unto him, those 3 magical words, come and see. He's like, oh, you don't believe me? Come and see for yourself, which again, we talked about yesterday. You invite others to come into Christ and then let Jesus Christ do what he does so well. Verse 47, Jesus saw Nathanael coming unto him and saith of him, behold, an Israelite indeed, like we'd said before, an Israelite in whom is no guile. How would you like to have Jesus come to you and say, you are amazing. You have no deceit in you at all. You're an honest, wonderful, good individual. Jesus also referred to Edward Partridge in section 41 of the Doctrine and Covenants. He said, he's like Nathanael of old, in whom there is no guile. What a compliment, right? Verse 48, Nathanael said unto him, whence knowest thou me? It's like, how do you know who I am? You've never met me. Jesus answered and said unto him, before that Philip called thee, when thou wast under the fig tree, I saw thee. Now again, The Chosen using that type of reference I thought was awesome. It's like, do you know that time when you were sitting under the fig tree? I saw you. And again, I'd love to know the real story there of what happened. What was Nathanael going through as he's sitting there? And he's like, Nathanael, I just want you to know that I know who you are and I am mindful of you. Verse 49, apparently that did it for Nathanael. Nathanael answered and said unto him, Rabbi, thou art the Son of God. Thou art the King of Israel. And then Jesus answered and said unto him, because I said unto thee, I saw thee under the fig tree, believest thou? Thou shalt see greater things than these. Meaning, if you believe that, then this is only the beginning of the things that you're going to get a chance to see. And he saith unto him, verily, verily, I say unto you, hereafter ye shall see the heaven open, and the angels of God ascending and descending upon the Son of Man. Because you believe in me, you're going to see some amazing, wonderful things. So I think there's a great principle for you and I, is the more that we understand that Jesus Christ knows who we are, that God the Father knows who we are, when we understand those things, that's where the miracles really start happening in our lives. I was reading a Christian blog as I was trying to understand this concept, and I came across this quote by a gentleman by the name of J.I. Packer. No idea who he is, but this quote is awesome. What matters supremely, therefore, is not in the last analysis the fact that I know God, but the larger fact which underlies it, the fact that he knows me. I don't want to discount the idea of us learning how to know God. In John's own words in chapter 7, he talks about this is life eternal, that they might know thee, right? It is important for us to know who God is. But he said, I am graven on the palms of his hands. I am never out of his mind. All my knowledge of him depends on his sustained initiative in knowing me. I know him because he first knew me and continues to know me. He knows me as a friend, one who loves me, and there is no moment when his eye is off of me or his attention distracted from me, and no moment, therefore, when his care falters. Once you understand that about God and you feel that connection to Jesus Christ, stuff can start happening. And I love that. And so I love that as you go through this chapter, again, I invited you at the very beginning of this week to be able to look and see if you were to tell a story about Jesus Christ and if you were to introduce him to someone who's never heard of him before, how would you start off this story? And I love how John in chapter 1 starts off with, this is the Word. He is the one who makes things happen. Because when you understand that and you know that he knows who you are, good things will start happening. And I know that principle is true. I've seen it happen in my own life as I've gotten to know him, but more importantly, as I've gotten to know that he knows me. That's when the magic happens. I can testify to you that's true. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for sharing these messages. So grateful that you do that. Check out our amazingly comfortable gospel-themed socks at bombsocks.com, and you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Godspeed. Bye-bye.